Hey everybody, Sergio with the RideShare Guy. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than the usual rant session. This is not financial advice, but you guys should all listen to it because I do have a finance and Wall Street background. So I'm gonna fire up the apps. Let's see how it's gonna look, how many offers I get. I'm not doing it to do trips. I'm just doing it to make a point. Over the last 18 months, since upfront fares have been introduced, Uber stock has gone up from $22 a share to almost $80 a share. 80. As of Friday, Uber was valued at $150 plus billion. Even Lyft joined the party last week after their earnings report came out, and Lyft valuation is about $8.5 billion as of Friday. Now, Uber has 75% market share, Lyft has 25% market share in the US. I 100% feel like these improvements in their stock prices have happened for one reason and one reason only. It is because upfront fares. Once the rate card disappeared, the upfront fares algorithms slowly, and we talked about this over a year ago, that upfront fares are like boiling a frog slowly. What do I mean by that? When upfront fares first showed up, rates were okay. Slowly, however, upfront fares have been reduced. And I'm going to fire up the apps and for you guys to see. The other thing that I want you to guys pay attention to is that there is a massive Gridwise study that just came out about 2 months ago, actually. It says that Uber driver earnings are down 17% from 22 going into 2023, and we all feel that, we all see that. However, the way they do it is by doing it 10 cents, 25 cents, 50 cents at a time at their scale. According to Uber did 2.6 billion trips last quarter in just 3 months globally. More than half of those were rideshare trips. Now, if you took 2.6 billion trips times 20 cents, just 20 cents, 2 lousy dimes, that's $520 million per quarter. That's over $2 billion profit per year. So now you guys understand where I'm getting to. Let me fire up the apps. Let's see how the offers look today. I'm in LA. It's about 1 p.m. on a Saturday. Fairly busy, or should be fairly busy. Here's the Uber app, fired up. Here's the Lyft app, fired up. Let's talk a few more minutes about until I get a few offers to see where they are. And Uber stock going from 22 to almost $80 a share is not a coincidence. Not to me anyway. And I can make sense of all these numbers because my finance background. And I do listen to every single one of their quarterly calls with the CEOs and CFOs. They are talking about more drivers than ever being on the road, which we know pretty much every market is oversaturated. They're also talking about drivers driving more. Now, is that because everybody is swimming in cash, everybody is making so much money? No. The reason for that is, after upfront fares and reduced earnings, in order for us to make the same amount of money in 40 hours if we were driving full time, now we have to drive 50 hours or more to make the exact same money as we did before. Well, that is the reason why the companies are able to say, yeah, we have so many drivers and they're all on average driving a lot longer. Well, here's an order. $4.27 for 13 minutes of work. and somebody grabbed it already, and here's the Lyft offer. 36 minutes for $13.08. This is the reason that these companies are being extremely profitable now. If you knew the rate or the rate card in your city before upfront fares, you can easily do a spreadsheet and figure all this out. You can figure out your time and distance with the old rate card and then compare it to the upfront fare. Let's see how different it is. I've done this study. I've written articles about it. So before I go any further, please, everyone, go to www.therideshareguy.com and sign up to our free, like I said, free newsletter. You get my articles. I started writing in our newsletter again. You get Jay's articles, you get Paula's, you get Tyler's. We have great information in there. So, one of the reasons people are driving more is because of upfront fares. Now, in upfront fares, there's half of it that I like. What is that? That's us seeing the pickup point and the drop-off point. Again, this is not for every city, but it's pretty much nationwide. There are some areas that upfront fares don't exist. Even in California, in Ventura County, upfront fares don't exist. Here's a trip, decent trip, comfort trip, less than 2 miles in total for $5. But 11 minutes. So on 11 minutes, how many 11 minutes are in an hour? That trip actually would have been worth it if there was. Here's a trip. This is perfect. This is 25 miles plus the pickup, 27 miles, 54 minutes, almost an hour for $25. Okay? Now, if we were to look at the rate card on that before upfront fare showed up on Lyft, I was getting paid 80 cents a mile and 13 cents a minute, okay? And that trip was priced about at 25. Now, the trip was in itself just the mileage, because they pay you on period 3, not period 2. Period 2 is from you accepting the trip going to the pickup, and period 3 is from you getting the passenger in the car to the drop-off. Now, let's calculate those numbers. Upfront fares versus rate card. I'm going to do it in my head. I'm not going to put it on a calculator. And here's another trip. Going to airport, 11 miles, 42 minutes for $16.16. Okay? But I'm going to go back to the other one, which was 25 miles and 49 minutes, let's say 50 minutes. So let me turn the app off, because you guys are seeing what type of orders I'm getting, so we don't get into the noise part. Turn this one off as well. All right, so here's the calculation. 25 miles times 80 cents, which was my rate card on regular standard, would be 25 times 80 cents, right? So 25 times 80 cents is $20. Pretty simple and clear, right? Exactly $20. Now we have the time component that I have to add in, which was 13 cents a minute before upfront fares on Lyft. And that trip happened to be 50 minutes, 50. Okay? Well, 50 minutes times 13 cents a minute would have been $6.50. So add the 20 to $26.50. I mean, to $20 for the mileage. Now we have $26.50 under the rate card. Well, how much was that trip offered to me for? 25. See what just happened there? That's $1.50 haircut. Now, imagine that at their scale. Uber did 2.6 billion trips, and Lyft, and they're basically pricing the trips about the same levels. And Lyft did 200 million trips in the last quarter, right? Well, that's $1.50. If they're just shaving or upfront fares reduce these fares. And to us, it may be negligible, $1.50. People are not going to notice it, right? But to them, at their scale, that's billions and billions and billions of dollars. Basically, what is happening is that we're getting paid less, but we're not kind of feeling it. Like I said, boiling the frog slowly. How do you boil a frog slowly? You first put them in cold water, because if you dump them in boiling hot water, they're going to jump right out. But slowly, the upfront fares algorithms are lowering these fares that they pay to the driver. And do you guys think they're lowering the same amount for the passenger or the rider? Absolutely not. Now you guys understand why Uber is worth almost $60 billion and Lyft is almost $8 to $9 billion. This is what is happening. The companies are denying this, saying that, oh yeah, we're paying the same thing. Actually, they're saying drivers are making more money. I am not buying any of this. So the calculation I did, you guys can do on your own as well. Just figure out what the rate card was before upfront fares, and then do a little spreadsheet. Do a little comparison shopping for yourselves. The difference may not be that much. It could be 10 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents on some chips, and on that chip that I just did the math for you guys was $1.50. Yeah, you know, people may say it's negligible. I get it. But to these companies, at their scale, it's billions and billions of dollars of wealth or earnings taken from the drivers, switched to the investors. Well, today's finance lesson will end here. Again, please, every Tuesday, join us on Show Me the Money Club at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And please go sign up to our free newsletter. I'm writing all these articles, calculations, spreadsheets are all going to be there. So be safe out there. Stay healthy, everybody.